Hello, welcome, good afternoon, good morning, good evening.
Good whatever.
All of the times of day. Please let us know that you can hear us properly. Can you hear us loud and clear?
Yes.
Well, you can, Paul. You
That's
sat
my
next to me.
psychic. That's my psychicness coming in. They can hear us.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is
No,
there
it's all
anybody
gone now.
there? Is there anybody there? Well, it comes up when people make a comment.
I think you've got the wrong chat setting on.
Paul.
I think you have.
Shush now, Paul. Good, thank you, MJ. In Canada.
Canada.
Good morning, Nicole.
Why is Canada Water called Canada Water at Canada Water?
Because it's a water. There's a water.
Oh, was it the Royal Bank of Canada?
Was that a fly, Paul?
It was, yeah.
Little buggers.
Yeah.
So welcome. Hello, Stephanie, Tony, Nicole, Trandans, Gunilla, Anita, Lolly, Gillian, Liz, Green Raven, Carol.
And who was at the top? There were some people at the top. Coffee.
Have we done it?
And Nicole. Did you do Nicole?
I did
you
Nicole.
did do Nicole.
I did Nicole twice.
Mandy, Sarah, Sherry, Stevie, Debbie.
No, it's Stevie Weavy.
Stevie Weavy. Yeah. Welcome from Cornwall.
Cornwall. Hello, Cornwall. Hello, Siggy. Biscuits and Groovy. Good morning, good afternoon, any time of day. Hello, Craig and Mike. Hello, Andy and David.
Hinckley.
Hinckley in Leicestershire.
Is there a Hinckley?
Leicestershire, as they say in America.
Is there a Hinckley up in... Oh, no, that's Ilkley, isn't it? Ilkley Moor.
Ilkley Moor, Bart hat. That means Ilkley Moor without a hat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bit like not casting a clout
till May is out. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Monica.
Marilyn Monroe.
Paul's hair looks like that. Well, I don't know what pictures of Marilyn Monroe you were looking at.
Is that a picture of her now, Stevie Weavy? Is that her hair now?
So, Layla, you stopped your sunbathing. Well, actually, the sun has come out here in London today, which is rather nice because it's been bloody cold.
Well, your hands are freezing.
My hands are frozen.
I just told him, get your hands off me. They're like blocks of ice.
But I can suck some of the heat out of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, my hands are always cold.
Yeah. He just said that he thinks it's a good thing that his hands are cold.
I think it's good. It makes them work.
Well, I think it needs a good cut. Look how it's quite... Look, that bit's yellow.
Now, Paul.
Why is that yellow?
That's sun damage.
Oh, it's sun damage, yeah.
That's why your skin looks the way it does too.
That is true. That is absolutely true. Yeah.
Have you cleaned your teeth?
I have cleaned my teeth. Why?
I don't know. It looks like this. You've got a bit of plaque in the corners there,
well,
baby.
I need to go to the hygienist.
You do?
Yeah. What about you?
Or Turkey.
Or Turkey.
You could go to Turkey and get a new set of turkey teeth.
Mm.
So, some more hellos. Elaine, James, Monica, Wallace, who was showering and almost missed us. Well, I'm glad you finished.
I just noticed I haven't shaved. Look.
Oh, dirty.
Got all that,
dirty.
Yeah.
Thank you for... It is a lovely pashmina, this one. This was given to me by a subscriber. Hello, Fred. You've been pottering about in the sun. Hello, Nancy.
I think there's quite a lot of sun overall in the UK at the moment, isn't there?
Hello, Robert. Well, there has been sun in other parts of the UK, but more on that when we do our weather report. Oh, it's maybe time for that now.
That's why I was saying that.
Well, I have to introduce it, Paul. Don't jump the gun.
I wasn't. It was a hint. That's what it was. Hint. Weather report.
Hello, Beatrice.
No sun in Wales.
So it's time for Richard and Paul's weather report. So the other day when we went to the Chilterns, and if you follow us on Facebook and our Facebook group, Planet Vegetaria, that's a Facebook group by Richard and Paul since 2017. That's contractual. and Instagram, you will have noticed a few pictures from the Chilterns. We took a walk. We had to get out. Stop it.
I was just doing pictures.
Why are you right at the end of the camera?
I don't know. You've pushed me here.
People can't see your...
You've pushed me here. I was just trying to make room for your ego. That's all.
There's plenty of room for that. So we went to the Chilterns because we had to get out. We were both feeling a little bit stressed out.
A little bit.
A lot.
Yeah.
So we decided to get out to the Chilterns, which is our go-to place for a walk when we're feeling stressed. And in actual fact, we've been visiting the Chilterns at times of stress for a long time.
If you're on coffee, you'll have seen a post I put up about a bench that we sit on, and the first visit to that bench and some of the emotions we've had on that bench over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Which have been roller coaster, really. You know, when I think back on the timeline of happenings and the amount of time we've spent just laughing or contemplating on that bench. Yeah. So if you're on coffee, do have a look at that, because it's exactly how we were feeling the other day and how we felt several times over the past, must be about 10 years now. I mean, my dad has, in July, I'll be 57. Dad died 2 days before my 50th birthday. So it'll be 7 years for Dad.
Yeah.
And we went there with them, not to that part, but we went there with them. We must have been going there for maybe 12 years, something like that.
Well, I remember going up there when, I think it was when Biscuit, one of our cats, died.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we go up there because it's, even in winter, it's a great place to blow the cobwebs away because you get a real stiff breeze on that hill. But anyway, the weather was really beautiful up there. It wasn't too warm, even in the sun. So we have had some sun, but the past 2 days have been a blanket of cloud, and it's been cold. I mean, it's 22 degrees outside at the moment, but inside it's 14 degrees because we have turned our heating off now.
Yeah.
No more heating now, because we simply can't afford it.
Well, I mean, it's also generally, May is much warmer than it has been. But we've just, as many millions of people in the UK and around the world, just put up with it being colder than normal. You know, just what we have done.
And of course, the interest rate hike in the UK has also meant that our mortgage has gone up again to kind of unaffordable levels now, really.
Yeah, I mean, in the last year, the interest rate on our mortgage, despite paying £50,000 off our capital, our interest payments have gone up from around £300 a month to over £1,000 a month.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
You know, that's don't get me on the Bank of England, because I do go on about it.
Yeah, and we're doing the weather report.
We're doing the weather report. So
just
it has been chilly. When the sun has been out and we've been in it, it's been rather warm. Yesterday I was at the plot for a good 4 or 5 hours over the morning and the afternoon. I came home for lunch, and I didn't have quite enough on at the beginning. You know, I warmed up, so I had to take a layer off, but it was cold getting down there. Today, with the sun out, it would be much, much warmer. But even this morning, when I went down there about 9 o'clock to open the poly, it was a bit chilly. It was a bit chilly, yeah.
And what is this show called?
Sunday Chat.
There we are.
Live.
So, yeah, you know, disappointing for May. Very disappointing for the UK. We've known much better Mays than this.
Tony, I was looking at Jane Kelly put a photo up on her Facebook group yesterday, and she was laid out on a sort of sun chair with her bare legs, and it was gloriously sunny, and she said, you know, isn't this wonderful weather? And I had to let her know that it had been about 14 or 15 degrees with us, even though it felt chillier than that.
And actually, looking out now, it's clouding over again.
It is, yeah.
So,
but I think
you know,
the week ahead is
cold.
cool and not much rain. Not much rain. So I think there's going to have to be some watering down at the plot, mainly with the carrot bed. The carrots and the lettuce are going to need raining,
So some
watering.
more hellos. Let's just get them in. Vicky, Kathy, Mary, Rebecca. Thank you. Yeah, we tend to turn the heating off March, April time usually.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at our energy usage in April, and last year's April was much warmer than this year, and we've used 2.5 times as much gas this year as last year, even though we had the we sort of had it on shorter periods. So that basically means that in April we had the heating off quite a lot because it was quite warm last year, unlike this year where we've had it on maybe once a day. Well, you asked me.
We have put it on in June. 2 years ago, we put it on in June.
Did we?
Yeah, it was so cold.
No.
Yes, we did.
No.
Well, I did.
Yeah, most probably when I was at the plot. It's been virtually heat wave for the last 3 summers, hasn't it?
Hello, Maxine. Hello, Jim. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Paula. Hi, Tina. Hello, Malcolm and Tanya. I do love the name Tanya.
Is it
exotic?
Well, yeah. Is it Tanya or is it Tanya?
Tanya, Tanya. Tanya, 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 Tanya.
And you can have it with nigh, can't you?
Tania.
Tanya.
Tanya. I just think it's a lovely name. It's how it trips off the tongue. Tanya. Sorry.
There's a lot going on out here.
Well, just ignore outside. Go away, everybody. Not you.
No.
Stay.
No.
Stay, do. So, somebody mentioned the coronation, la coronation. It's all over and done with now.
Yay!
Yeah.
I mean, I watched virtually, I didn't watch any of it live, and I just saw a bit of Charlie walking down the nave or whatever with his,
with his orb and sceptre.
Yeah, yeah. And Penny Mordaunt. I saw a photo of Penny Mordaunt in her Poundland.
She was carrying with a Poundland logo
uniform.
Outfit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was rather fun, wasn't it? I watched some of it.
You were glued to it.
I wasn't glued to it, Paul, at all.
I went to the plot, and when I came back, you were still watching it.
I watched bits and pieces of it. I mean, it is an historic occasion. Although people kept saying, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. No, it's not.
No.
We will see another one.
Well, yeah, as long as we live.
Well,
yeah.
If Charles, gets to 100 or whatever, I mean, by then he'll have given up the crown, surely. But I did watch a little bit of it because I was interested to see the moment of the crowning. And I wanted to have a look at Camilla as well. Because to me, Camilla always looks as though she's really not very happy with it all. I mean, can you imagine getting to your 70s and then, hoping for a sort of fairly quiet life and then being told you're going to be queen? All I see is her sort of, oh, bloody hell.
Not this
John,
again.
Not this. Bloody Nora, where's the gin? I just see it in her eyes. I just don't think she's that happy to be in that position.
Well, I think she'd rather be somewhere else. I think that's
having
it.
a bloody G&T.
That seems fair enough to me. I mean, it really does.
Yeah, I mean, really. But, well, yeah. I mean, all that malarkey about the anointing with the olive oil, and I mean, it's a load of old bollocks. But
it is.
I was interested just to see bits of it.
What I was interested in was
what
what I was interested in is the complete um, devastating withdrawal of our right to protest peacefully. That's what got me. The fact that 12 or 16 people were arrested.
I thought it was
who were
46.
Well,
wasn't it?
46 were arrested, however many. I mean, one, would have been too many. We have a right to protest
Well, no,
peacefully.
look, let's have a heated debate. Let's do it. I disagree with you because I think those people should have been removed. I do think people have the right to protest, but this is a coronation day.
Yeah, I know, but you could say the same thing about something else, shouldn't you? You can't, any special day, any day can be deemed special by the right people to stop other people protesting.
No, but this is
And the fact you have your own opinion doesn't stop you being wrong.
This is a special of specials.
No, it's
Surely.
not. You've said it's going to happen again.
But it is a very, very special day, and a lot of older people will never see it. So I think, hi, Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
I just think...
That was a ball.
What?
Oh, the kids are playing with balls in the road now.
Go away, children. I don't want your balls in my garden.
No.
Harry was there, but he left sharpishly.
Well, he had his son's doodah to go back to, didn't he?
Well, exactly, Stevie Weavy. They could have protested on the following day.
Well, no, they were in an area where they were going to protest, a bit away from other crowds. So, yeah.
Let's agree to disagree.
Let's agree that Richard's wrong.
I'm not wrong. I'm right. I'm defending the crown.
I used to be called Rarely Wrong Savidor.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't know you very well, did they? So, let's get on with the show, shall we? So, the good thing about the coronation, la coronation...
Oh, God, we're going back to it.
Was...
I'm the one who's a great supporter of the royal family.
Chaka. Chaka-laka baba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-doo-doo. That's it. That's better. Well, I've forgotten what I was saying.
You were going on about the coronation again.
The good thing about the coronation, was that it was another short week, which meant I had a day and a half at work.
You did.
It was incredibly quick, but it was incredibly busy too.
You've got another one coming up in 2 weeks.
This week will feel like a very long week at 2.5 days. Very long week.
It will. It will. Yeah. Have you finished on the coronation now?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah.
So the other good news, Malcolm and Tanya, seeing as you just raised the question, la question, is that the house is now on the market.
Yes.
We are now on the market. We had our floor plans done. We had the EPC certificate sorted, the Energy Performance Certificate, which rates your house in terms of its performance with energy. So it looks at things like insulation, double glazing, heating, lighting, all of that. And we've been graded an E, which is quite poor.
Which is what we expected.
It's what we expected because this house is 170 years old. It's a solid wall construction, so you can't insulate the walls. Mm-hmm. There's no cavity. To insulate this house fully, you'd have to rip all the floors up and all of that. But the heartening thing is that most properties like this are rated D or E.
Yeah, I mean, also some of the terrace houses, or most of the terrace houses around here, are rated D. Because they're terraces, so you don't lose as much heat. We're detached, so we're sort of one down from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fine. That's what we expected. And I think they said with modifications and things, it could be a C. So,
yeah. So we won't be doing those modifications. No.
What I was really surprised about is how our boiler of 25 or 30 years old
was rated good.
I
know.
And I have to say, every time we have had we've had it serviced, the British Gas, who does our servicing, they have said each of the engineers, shut up.
Well, you were struggling.
Each of the engineers has said, I have to tell you that the parts are getting limited for this, and you can get more energy efficient boilers. However, if I was you, I wouldn't get rid of it because it's a really, really good boiler. And yeah, touch wood, it has been, hasn't it?
Well, it's hardly ever let us down. It's a couple of times it's let us down, but it just needed a part.
Yeah.
So generally it's been good. No, it's a, what is it? I don't know what it is.
It's a
glow.
Not a Honeywell.
Yeah, Honeywell.
Is it Honeywell?
Is it a Honeywell? I don't know. Go and look, Paul.
No, it's not. It's sort of like before Valiant and things. Yeah, it's it's quite it's old. It's old, but it works really well.
So yes. Anyway, the house is on the market. That's really all there is to report. We're keeping it tidy, expecting that we will get some viewings at some point soon.
Well, they did come and put the sign up the other day, which was incredibly wobbly in the wrong place and blew over. So that they're coming back to put the sign up again because at the moment it's not up.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
yeah.
Estate agents.
Yeah.
However nice they seem, we have to remember they are estate agents.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's really all we can say. I do have a list of properties that we're going to view, but we need to wait for somebody to bite on this property. And then we're going to be arranging a long weekend to go and stay with a friend up north and do some viewings, hopefully get 3 properties in. I've got a long list of properties that I'm sort of interested in. They're mainly in North Wales. So yeah, that's it. There's sort of no more progress. The jobs in the house continue.
You've been doing some painting today.
Yeah, I did some painting yesterday, some painting today. I did some gardening yesterday as well. At some point I will do a little sort of garden tour video. So yeah, it's coming along.
Yes, we did. Who was that? Sorry, Coffee. We did consider purple bricks. We considered various ones, but we've gone with a local agent called Doyle's because they've been in this area for very, very many years, and they only deal in this local area.
Potterton. It's a Potterton. Ours is a Potterton, Sarah. That's it. Thank you for
Potterton.
that.
I don't know why I thought Honeywell. But yeah, they're in the local area.
I think it's because our thermostat is a Honeywell thermostat.
That's right, because Honeywell was all electronics, wasn't it? When I first left school, for 3 months I was doing coding for a company called Datalink, and it was all Honeywell computers and Honeywell printers then that were being done. Yeah.
Well, in 1989, I worked for a company called...
You can't have been in 1989. Because you're only 39.
I'm only 39.
Yeah, so it can't be 1989.
Anyway, put that to one side. In 1989, I worked for a heating and ventilation company who used to install building management systems in large hotels.
Yeah. So that the rooms could be different temperatures.
It was a company called Satchwell Control Systems. So we used to deal with all sorts of electronic component companies like Landis & Gyr, Honeywell, various people.
Does Honeywell still exist?
I don't know. But I used to process the invoices. And this was...
What? You used to do invoicing?
Yeah, you don't even know.
You're joking.
No, I used to process the invoices and I used to do the engineer's expenses.
When you were adding up the invoices, did you do the dots with your fingers?
No, we had calculators, Paul. I'm fine with maths as long as I've got a calculator. I'm quick on a calculator. I did data entry as well.
Yeah, that's different.
But in those days, processing invoices, you had these huge ledgers and you used to have to do invoice registry slips for each invoice in these ledgers, and it copied it in triplicate. There were no computers.
Yeah.
We didn't have computers there.
That's amazing. So did you type them or did you
no,
write them?
They were handwritten.
Wow.
Handwritten into a ledger.
I mean,
and then you sent the invoices off with the invoice slip to the head office.
I guess, I mean, you know, so much used to be handwritten.
Yeah, everything was
it's just
handwritten.
not now. Yeah.
I think the engineers might have had the first sort of laptops. I think they had with them, but we didn't have computers. Everything was manual. I know, amazing.
There we are. Yeah. A blue plaque. Yeah, I'm sure. I could put a blue plate outside. I could put that on the wall. Yeah. One of our neighbours has put lights on the front of her house to illuminate her house. I thought it was a new Heathrow runway that had just sprung up.
I mean, yeah.
It's so
That's another issue. House illumination. Our neighbours at the back have got house illumination. And it's literally, why don't you just put floodlights on and light everybody's gardens up? I hate that.
Yeah,
it's so inconsiderate.
It's more light pollution. That's all it is.
Those lights go up.
I know.
That's why they're uplighters.
Up and down. Up and down. So, yeah.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gavin. You're very kind. Malcolm and Tanya, we will continue to do Sunday Chat.
Sunday Chat!
Jesus, Mary, Mother of God. Wherever we are in the world, we will continue to do it.
Right. There we are. You heard it here. Yeah.
Good.
James Nye. Who's James Nye?
Sorry, what are you talking about, Paul?
Caroline's put...
James is one of our followers.
Sorry, James. Sorry, I thought Caroline was talking about an actress.
She thought of that, and she was quoting James, Paul.
Sorry.
Get up with the programme, honestly. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know.
Absolutely, Heather. It does disrupt migrating birds, and it also disrupts insects in the garden and hedgehogs.
We do have an interesting insect story to tell, don't we, Paul?
We do.
What happened this week with insects?
So I went to
a couple of things, actually. First of all, our friend who we were looking after her cat, her house got attacked by ants.
Yeah, they weren't like giant ants like in Them. They weren't attacking.
Oh, you've ruined the story now, Paul.
They weren't doing that. No, they weren't. So yeah, she had ants. Wow. Yeah, there we are. You sorted it out.
In her kitchen. I sorted it out. I disrupted their pheromone trail.
With fairy liquid.
Not pure fairy liquid, just, you shoo them and then you clean up the pheromone trail so they can't follow it.
Yeah. So
you
sorted that out.
The source of food. We removed the source of food, which was cat food. They were enjoying the cat food. Was it Sheba? Oh. Was it Sheba?
They were enjoying the cat food with gravy, but they weren't. No, with jelly, but not with gravy. So I gave the cat that we were looking after cat food with gravy for a couple of days. They didn't come back.
What was in the jelly then?
I don't know. There must be something sweet in there.
You can't give cats sugar.
I don't know. There must be something in there that was sweet because they didn't go after any with the gravy on.
Anyway, we stopped them. And then, Paul, you had a bit of a shock one day, didn't you?
I went to the plot and I came back. I made a cup of tea. I put the kettle on straight away and made a cup of tea. And as I was sort of down here doing things, the kettle was on. I could hear there's some drilling going on. I thought, what is our neighbour doing next door? And anyway, I made my cup of tea. I sat down. The drilling continued. It was sort of like a buzzing. And I thought, honestly, when is he going to stop? But it just carried on. And then I thought, hang on, that's not our next door neighbour. And I came just to this door here. I could hear the buzzing. I went upstairs. We had about 30 bees, honeybees, on the inside of the window of our bathroom. So it's a sash window. and I'd left it open when I'd gone to the plot. It's got locks on it, so it's secure. But yeah, there were about 30 bees just buzzing on the inside of the window trying to get out. So I came down, I grabbed a glass, I grabbed a letter that we'd received, and I went up and one by one or two by two, I caught them in the glass, and then I let them out the window, the bottom of the sash window, and they flew off. And it was only when I sort of done it, I had the last bee, I thought, I haven't been stung. And then I also thought, why didn't I get a video of this? Because it was really unusual. So anyway, I let the last one out and I shut the sash window, top and bottom.
But do you remember that happened a few years ago, but it was ladybirds?
Ladybirds, yeah. I mean, there was a huge
in the dressing
influx.
room.
Yeah, yeah.
And they'd come in through the window. They were enormous.
Well, they might, they migrate in their hundreds of thousands. So yeah, I was at work one day. Where was I then? Kingswood in Surrey. I was working, and we worked in this sort of this sort of building on this country estate. When I looked out the windows one day, I saw a cloud of red coming towards me, and I wondered what it was. And again, it was ladybirds.
Well, we saw a swarm go over a few years ago, didn't we?
That was a good few years ago.
A massive swarm go over the house.
We had the cats then, so we were outside in the garden. I think we were having a cup of tea or a glass of wine or something. We heard the buzzing, and then we came straight in and made sure that the windows were shut, because the cats would chase the bees.
Well, yeah, of course.
But what I think had happened is a swarm had somehow bumped into our bathroom window, and some of the bees had come in top and bottom of the sash window, whilst the rest of the swarm had moved on.
Or they were here to tell you something, Paul.
Or they were here to tell me something.
Yeah.
It was it the day after? Was it when we had the floor plan and the EPC done? I had a very bad day that day, didn't I? I was spiraling out of control with my anxiety, because I do have anxiety issues, and I really was spiraling that day. And I think it was that day that the bees bumped into the window.
I think they came to comfort you.
Yeah, yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I think they may
I think they were coming to say everything's going to be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We are the bees.
Yeah, yeah. And then the following day, we were watching, I think it was a video that we'd recorded, To the Manor Born, which was all about bees.
Yes.
That was very bizarre. And about talking to the bees and letting the bees know what's going on.
Well, it's important. Beekeepers are supposed to tell the bees when there's a birth or a death or a marriage.
Yeah, yeah.
It's tradition.
Yeah, yeah. Always talk to the bees and let them know what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Malcolm and Tanya. Funnily enough, Paul made some bread rolls this morning. We actually had the oven on, so we took some chairs in there and sat and enjoyed the heat of the oven. Not really.
Oh no, I was feeling a bit anxious today as well, and I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some bread rolls, because we're going to have Linda McCartney burgers this evening with coleslaw.
Oh, lovely! So, one of my favourites.
So yeah, and marmorated stink bugs. Yeah, they are quite bizarre, those creatures. We've got quite a lot of stink bugs over here, different ones. But I think the marmorated ones are sort of beginning to gain ground over here. Absolutely. And there's a lot of ladybirds about at the moment. I am noticing them, and that's mostly because there's a huge increase in the amount of aphids on the plots at the moment. So, yeah.
Well, you're very kind, Biscuits and Groovy. I have green eyes.
Did you just interrupt me?
Yeah, it's more interesting. Now, James, you're finding lots of tiny moths. Oh dear. Make sure that you haven't got any wool or cashmere on display, because they'll eat it.
Yeah, I mean,
check under your rugs.
It sounds to me as though they are clothes moths.
Yeah. We had an infestation a few years ago of clothes moths, and they ate through 2 Persian rugs.
Yeah.
They had to be thrown away.
Well, the honeybees were just glorious. Once they'd gone, I just thought about it, and I just thought, I do love them. I do love them.
So Robert's in Indianapolis, Indiana. Minneapolis is in Minnesota. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
Hello, Geraldine. Welcome. Love the Linda McCartney range, James. Love them.
We love most of them. Yeah. Oh, you've had quite a lot of hornets. That's interesting, Tina, because I believe we have hornets building a nest near us as well at the allotments. So I saw 2 the other day, and of course they're just going about their natural business. That's all they're doing.
Happy birthday, Patricia. Happy 39th birthday. You've reached my age. Lovely. 25 years since Linda McCartney died. Wow. She was a trailblazer.
Is it? Wow. Gosh,
she was a trailblazer because she was doing vegetarian cookery on TV programs years and years before she did her range.
Well, yeah, she was.
And, such a trailblazer.
I think she was a good friend of Delia as well, wasn't she?
I don't know.
And of course, Delia did that Kate Bush video of Kate talking about vegetarian food.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, small moss can be flour or rice. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this is the thing about summer. Insects. I mean, we had ants one year in the house, and they were coming in.
Oh, lovely blue butterflies.
God, I thought you were going to say there were ants.
Oh no, blue butterflies. Those really little ones.
And we had ants coming in 3 different places, and they'd reached as far as the top of the house.
Had they?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
They were on the top landing.
Were they?
That drove me insane. Absolutely insane.
You were quite antsy about that, weren't you?
I was really, really distressed by it. And they were actually building nests in the garden under any object.
Well, they will do. Absolutely.
Well, they're not this year.
No, but they are at the plot. There's a lot. I haven't been bitten by a red ant yet at the plot, but there are quite a few.
Yeah, but you know what? Every time we've had ants in the house, and it's been two occasions, it's been when people have been doing things.
Yeah, it does feel as though when groundwork is going on,
I think they sense the vibration and they move on to another site.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
If you have there is a thing, I mean, you can get these thumpers, which are to deter moles, little sort of thumpers, like you get in June to deter, to draw the worms to you. And if you have those, it is supposed to disperse ants from your allotment site. So
I am afraid I used chemicals because I tried peppermint oil, which did deter them. I tried tea tree, which also deterred them. I tried baking soda. We tried that
dichotomous earth.
We tried that, and nothing worked. It wasn't keeping them away. So I got ant bait stations, and that got rid of them. Because
they are one of your bête noirs, aren't they?
Well, I'm not actually afraid of them.
No, but I
don't want them in the house.
Yeah, you get really anxious about them.
Really anxious. Oh, just absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, Tina, there will be. If I have ants at the moment, we've got ants in our carrot bed. The good thing about ants and soil, particularly if you want to grow, is they are fantastic at what's the word? I can't think of the word. But grinding up that soil and making the soil really, really fine. So they're really good at that. You end up with really good soil. But if ants are not going to really affect any of your plants that you've got growing, Tina. So leave the cardboard down unless you want the ants to move on. If you want them to move on, take the cardboard off and disperse the ground with a bamboo or something, and they'll most probably sort of carry their eggs off somewhere else.
Yeah. Ugh.
Process the soil.
I don't mind ants in the garden, all of that. We got plenty, but I don't want them in the house. No.
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 But I'm noticing quite a lot of red ants at the allotment. And the thing is, I wear gloves, so I sort of get bitten around here. They're quite vicious, and their formic acid is really quite strong. Yeah. Fire ants. Who said about fire ants? Yeah, Tennessee. Yeah. Cinnamon. Yeah, I've heard that, Kathy. I'm not sure if we've tried cinnamon.
I tried cinnamon.
Did it work?
It didn't seem to make any difference in the house. No. I mean, yeah. Vinegar, apparently spraying them with vinegar does work. Maybe that's why we've not had any this year, because I've been cleaning the floors with vinegar.
Maybe it is.
I use vinegar for everything now.
Maybe it breaks down the pheromone and they can't, or it disturbs their monitoring and picking up of the pheromones.
I don't know, but it works.
Well, there we are. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they do lay eggs. Ugh.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they're horrible.
They're sort of surprisingly large, Caroline, the eggs.
Is there a queen ant?
Yeah, there's a queen ant. Yeah.
So they work as a colony.
They're a colony. Yeah,
they're
just like bees.
Like a bee.
Just like bees. Yeah. Or just like certain types of bees, because of course there's solitary bees, there's bumblebees, there's many bees that do not live as a colony. In fact, I think about 70% of bees aren't colony bees. So you have wild bees, and then you have the bumblebees. The honeybees, which are colony bees. Yeah. I think hornets nests are not usually huge. They can be, but not often. And wasps' nests usually relatively small. Though that year I got stung. Do you remember that year I got stung by 16 wasps?
Oh, the wasp attack.
There
is a video on the channel.
There is a video on the channel. Yeah. When I got attacked by wasps, that was quite frightening, and that was from quite a big nest of wasps. Yeah, that was in a compost bin, actually.
I thought it was in the neighbour's shed.
No, it was in the compost bin next to the neighbour's shed.
Oh.
And not a compost bin that was being used as for composting either. It had been sort of left to go dry. Yeah.
Yes, Tony, I think that's what happens. You have to disrupt their trail. The unfortunate thing about that is they were coming into the house from 3 different places. And yeah.
I mean, when we were in Bali, we had them coming up onto the veranda, didn't we? And then going right through into our living space, into the bathroom, across the bath, and then out the bathroom window, didn't we?
Yeah,
or
but
the
they were
floor.
ants, if you know what I mean. They weren't tiny. They weren't tiny little micro ants.
No, they weren't.
They had costumes and vehicles. They were huge. They were huge.
They were quite large. They were sort of like, some of them were like as big as a fingernail. Yeah.
Big enough.
Yeah.
Big enough. I think they might become accustomed to things over time.
Well, yeah, I think they will.
Maybe they're evolving.
Yeah. But things do become accustomed to things, don't you? I mean, it's why insecticides that people use have had to get stronger, because effectively they become immune to them.
What was I going to say? Isn't it interesting how when you see people in, say, America, in the United States, the USA, they always have those screen doors.
Yeah, we don't have those.
We don't have those in the UK. Is that so you can open your door and have airflow without insects coming in?
Yeah, it is. It's like an
Yeah.
insect door, isn't
We're
it?
going to need those in this country.
Yeah, most probably will. Yeah,
You know?
we did think about something for the back door, didn't we? We said about it last year.
Yeah.
We're going to have the back door open because of the amount of flying insects and things. We'll have to have some type of mesh, but it's not a common thing over here to have that.
Yeah, it's we don't have that kind of thing at all.
Mm.
I'm sure you can buy them, but it's certainly not a, it's not a usual thing in the UK.
No.
The thing I'm more worried about is leaving the back door open, because people leave their back doors open in the summer. I'm more interested in a rodent coming in. That's what I don't want.
Yeah, or a fox.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I love foxes, but I prefer them outside than inside.
Yeah.
And cats as well. There's so many cats around us.
They will just wander
They
in.
will. I mean, there's one cat who is the sort of, he has an owner, a family that owns him. It's been there for many years, but he's the street cat. He sort of rules the street, and he will just quite happily, if you got the door open, he'll quite happily just wander in.
Yeah, we don't have any screens on any of the windows or doors. I've never known anybody to in this country.
It's not a standard thing.
And I guess it's because our insect season is relatively short.
Well, it's also because of our climate, because we usually have not particularly boiling summers, yet we have quite cold winters. The insects in the summer don't normally have time to overpopulate, and therefore they're killed off in the cold winters. But as things have got milder, maybe things are changing. But in terms of midges and things like that, there is a huge decrease because of insecticides being used in the amount of things that splatter on your windscreen in the UK now.
Yes, Gillian, I do remember them very, very well. We had one in our caravan. Remember the plastic strips?
Yeah,
they were the equivalent,
red and white. Yeah,
they were the equivalent of what we would have in the UK.
And then, of course, you've got beaded curtains.
Oh, I love a beaded curtain.
Have you still got your beaded curtain?
No,
you got rid of your beaded curtain.
Pardon me, you didn't like it.
You
didn't like the beaded curtain. We had it in the flat.
It kept on getting my hair, I think.
Well, one has to learn how to walk and manoeuvre through a beaded curtain.
Mm.
I have a natural ability. Paul, not so much.
No.
Yeah,
rodents coming in. There was a mouse I found in. Oh, we didn't tell her when I was looking after the cat. There was a mouse in the house which I put out. No, it wasn't dead. But the cat just brought it in, so I was able to shut the dining room door of her house, and then open the door, and I shooed it, and it went out. The cat wasn't very impressed that I shooed it out, though. Yeah.
No, I
mind you, he couldn't be bothered to go after it either.
I am a big fan of a beaded curtain. We had a lovely beaded curtain. And Christine, do you remember she had that lovely jewelled beaded curtain, didn't she? Yeah, it was plastic.
Yeah.
But I always liked that.
Yeah.
They're good at dividing spaces.
Right.
Yeah. If you haven't got a door. No, it is.
I don't disagree with you. I had a bamboo beaded curtain on the allotment shed when I moved in. It was tubes of bamboo or something all lined up, and you had to do that. And I moved it to one side, and then I got rid of it.
I think it was quite a cheap one. Anyway, let's move on with the show, Paul. So yes, I was gardening yesterday.
You were? I think you've done a good job out there.
Keeping it tidy, keeping the weeds down. And I've noticed this year...
I've done strimming.
You have been doing the strimming, but that's the easy part, Paul. You weren't stretching through the borders, grabbing the cleavers.
No.
Lots of cleavers.
Grabbing sticky willies through the borders.
Is that what they call them? Sticky willies?
Yeah.
Sticky willy.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Yeah, grabbing cleavers. There's lots of alkanet. There's lots of gorgeous, frothy forget-me-nots. Absolutely delightful. They're keeping on going.
They are.
They really are.
Because there's been wet weather, so they have continued.
Yeah.
You know, we've had more rain this May and April than we did last year. So, yeah.
So the garden is looking particularly lovely, actually, and very full and very green. I've not noticed any ground elder in our garden, thank goodness. But yes, we did notice quite a lot up in the Chilterns the other day.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will do a little garden tour video at some point soon.
Nice.
Yes, lovely.
Are you going to do the front garden as well? I think the front garden is looking particularly
The
nice.
honeysuckle is gorgeous.
It is, yeah. Lots of nettles, Anita. Around the compost bin at the plot, we've got lots of nettles, and there's lots of nettles on the site as a whole.
And we've got nettles in the back garden.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. So, what else are we talking about? Paul, you didn't get that job you applied for, did you?
I didn't.
No.
The Saga job, the channel editor gardening that I applied for 2 months ago, something like that. I got a sort of thanks but no thanks letter back from them, or email back from them. So, well, in fact, no, it was because you have to set up an account to apply for a job, and it was just a posting in my account. I didn't even get notification that they'd responded, which I thought was a bit odd, because I'd expect if something goes to your account, you'll get a notification that there's something to read on your account. But yeah, I didn't get that job. So there we are. Onwards.
Hey-ho.
I mean, I sort of didn't expect to get it because
That's why you didn't get it.
Well, yeah, partly, but I also think the caveats, the what you needed to have, I think it changed as the process went along.
Caveat? Not
Yeah,
caveat, that's the wrong word.
No, what is the word? I can't think.
The
requirements.
requirements.
Requirements, yeah. So I think it was like writing professionally in a magazine or newspaper for a year, and then it became 2 years, and there was something else as well. But you know what? I didn't get it, so there's something else around the corner. Fingers crossed. And in fact, what I did get this week, is a call from a client that I haven't worked with for about 5 years, 5 years. And I'm meeting up with him next week because there's a film to be shot in Wales.
Funnily enough. Ooh.
And 2 films, one to be shot in the UK and one in Ireland, that he wants to talk to me about working on. So yeah, I've got a meeting about that on Wednesday, so that will be interesting. Yeah.
Good. Excellent, Paul.
And I have written finally the April piece for the Guernsey Gardener in London, which I hope was in yesterday. If it was, when I get the link, I'll post it. So yeah, look out for that.
Good. Also, we had a letter from Cancer Research.
Oh yeah.
Letting us know how much money our donations of clothes and objets sold for, how much money it raised.
Yeah, and it raised something like £212.
Amazing.
Plus,
you got the letter because you gift aided it.
Yeah.
Which is to do with tax.
So they can claim back the tax that I have paid on those things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And because of that, you filled out the form, and they sent you a letter to say how much money they had raised with those things, which is amazing.
Yeah. So it was
fantastic.
It was 2 black bags, and 270 quid in total had been raised for Cancer Research, which is brilliant.
You said 212 quid.
212 plus the gift aid, which they claim back the 50 quid.
Okay.
So yeah, that was really good.
So, donating stuff to charities, which we've been doing for a long time now, and certainly been doing a lot of recently, is really worthwhile because, if we all did that, significant amounts of money would be raised. I mean, we've always believed in giving to charities. I'm a regular, well, I've been regularly contributing to Shelter, which is the charity for the homeless, which campaigns for better housing for people as well. I've been contributing to them for a long, long time. And I think it's the thing to do, to give what you can as often as you can, and to donate clothes, objects, take stuff to charity shops, decent stuff that they can actually make use of. You know?
But I also think we need to be careful about governments, because governments are seeing that charities are picking up, and sort of, where there's a hole in delivery in local and general government, charities are filling that hole and doing good. And I think there is a propensity for local government and general government to allow charities to do more. And of course, we're constantly being taxed in one way or another. And that tax money should be spent for the benefit of people and society, not just for the rich, which I think is happening rather a lot at the moment. So always be wary when governments are working, saying how wonderful charities are. If governments were doing the work that they should be doing for society, charity should not be needed unless it's for sort of like disasters and medical research, and welfare,
and I think
animal welfare.
I think also on a purely practical level, I mean, my grandmother used to run an Oxfam shop in my hometown. She was the manager. And a lot of the stuff that used to get donated in a disgusting, tatty state, unclean, broken, holes in clothes that just had to be trashed. So, I know none of you would, but I think it's good to remember that, anything donated needs to be clean and in good condition.
But with if you do have holes in things, then check the charity that you want to give to, because sometimes charity will accept bulk fabrics, which they can sell on to raise money. So don't give anything that's broken. If there is a hole in it, check that the charity that you want to give to can accept that to be able to sell on.
And I think
sell on as a bulk fabric.
A lot of good charity shops go through the donations with you. And will tell you what they can and can't take. So I think it's also important to remember not to go and dump stuff on their doorsteps.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Take it into the shop and give it to them,
And also, if you're thinking about clothes and things, do also think about food, not food banks, but where they sort of soup kitchens and that type of thing, where they are feeding the homeless, because very often they will be looking for clothes as well. And you may find refugee outlets that are also asking for things like that on Facebook. So there's various ways of giving. And as someone has said, volunteering time is a really good way of giving if you don't have stuff to give, or you don't have money to give. We've both got a couple of direct debits, haven't we? Like you said, to Shelter, and I've got a couple as well.
Well, we used to do more, but we had to cut back because obviously we're barely earning enough money to pay our bills. So we have to. Is that little fly still there?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I was freaking away.
Little tiny fly, tiny one.
Yeah.
Anywho, so we're 59 minutes in and we've got 155 people watching.
Wow.
Thank you for tuning in.
And a good many from America today. So that's why we did an afternoon, because we've usually done it 11 in the morning, which is quite early in many parts of America, where 3 o'clock in the afternoon seems to fit across quite well for a good part of America. Yeah.
So thank you for tuning in and spending your precious time with us. Thank you. We appreciate it. So Paul, What have we watched on television this week, Paul?
It's been quite a. We've been really busy, but actually in the evening we've watched quite a bit of TV.
We no matter how busy our days are, we always have a relaxed evening. We don't tend to do housework after 7.
No.
Because we eat, and we like to eat early. We like to eat around 6:37. Then we play a game of Scrabble, and then we watch our TV programs.
Yeah.
And we tried a couple of new things this week.
We did. We tried Unstable.
Unstable with Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
We got to episode 3 and kind of said, this isn't working for us.
It's there's certain bits which are sort of humorous, but it was said it was like a cross between Schitt's Creek and something else, and can't see that myself. However, when we first watched Schitt's Creek, we
didn't
turned
get
it
on
off.
with Schitt's Creek at the beginning.
So maybe it's something that we'll return to at some point.
I don't know. We'll see. What else did we try that was new? Black Ops.
Which is on the BBC.
This is a UK programme about 2 community police officers who get enlisted as
secret
operatives to infiltrate a drug dealing gang, and it's a comedy.
Yeah.
It was quite good.
It was quite good. We'll definitely continue with it. I think we'll most probably watch an episode this evening.
It was quite fun.
Yeah.
We continue with the Midnight Club.
Yes.
Which we are enjoying.
We are. I think it is coming to an end. I think we've only got like one thing. So yeah, one episode left, I think.
No, we didn't watch Eurovision. We don't tend to watch Eurovision. We're not really fans nowadays, to be honest. I find it too big. I mean, they've turned it into a festival now. It's too big, and it's lost all its charm. It's far too serious now.
Well, I don't know. I think they've injected an awful lot of fun into it, but they've injected into the Liverpool one, but they've injected an awful lot of commercial fun, if you see what I mean.
It's a brand.
You can feel the machine behind it doing all the PR and all the marketing for it, or at least we can. And we do generally turn off when something becomes too hyped. We will turn off. We've never watched Titanic, have we?
No.
There are films that have become so hyped that we've never watched them.
I won't watch Titanic because I know what happens in the end.
Yeah, but I know what happens.
I know what happens in the end. The ship sinks. Spoiler alert.
I know what happens in A Night to Remember, but I will watch that again. I've watched it 10 times and I'm about to watch it again.
It's far too much water for my liking.
Yeah.
And people drowning. I don't like things like that.
No, you don't, do you? No. What?
So
you haven't offended Caroline, so I wouldn't worry about that. How's Mum?
Mum's okay.
Mum's okay.
Yeah.
She's got a bit of a cough at the moment, so have the doctor out for that. And really, really hoping to get to see her within the next sort of 4 weeks. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
What else?
What I will say about Eurovision, Hannah Waddingham.
Who?
Hannah Waddingham. She was one of the presenters of it. And it was really, really nice to see her and to see how well she was doing and being sort of embraced by people, because she's really, really lovely. I worked with her 25 years ago on Saucy Jack and the Space Vixens. She was playing the lead Space Vixen then. And she was lovely. So that's all I will say.
Oh, good, Paul.
Very pleased to see she's doing well.
Thank you.
She's in Ted Lasso, which we've never watched. So maybe we should watch Ted Lasso. Yeah.
Thank you for that name drop there, Paul.
You can always rely on me to be honest about name drops. Always. Absolutely. Unlike a few other YouTubers. Yeah.
We continue with The Power, and I believe that was the
Season finale.
season finale. There's got to be a second season.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find it a bit heavy.
In parts. There are a number of characters I really adore in it, though.
So just to go back to Eurovision was a household event when we were kids. You know,
Everyone watched it.
Everyone watched Eurovision, just like everyone watched Miss World as well. Because, and you know, this might sound distasteful, but the whole thing with Eurovision and Miss World was seeing people from other countries that you'd never heard of. So you were learning about the world, but also you were sort of poking fun at people too, because there were people wearing national costumes, which looked very bizarre most of the time. So as children, you found that very entertaining. And of course, with Miss World, however sexist it was, the dads watched it because there were lots of sexy girls in bikinis, the swimwear round. But we watched it because there were lots of ladies who looked very different to what we were used to. So actually it was kind of like a bit of an education as well. I understand Miss World still goes on, or I think it's Miss Universe now, I think it's called.
Didn't Trump get behind it?
I don't know.
He used to do it. Yeah, and we all know why that
and
was.
there was a Miss World game as well. There? My cousin, I'm sure my cousin...
Did you play it?
Of course. God. And there were all these little dolls.
You didn't have to dress up yourself?
No, it wasn't.
You in a bikini?
It was little dolls.
Would it have been a bikini or a one piece?
I think they were Pippa dolls.
Right.
I think they were Pippa dolls.
What were Pippa dolls?
And
were they?
They were little dolls.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't know Pippa dolls.
Yeah, well, you weren't really into that. You didn't have sisters, you had brothers. I had 2 sisters, which meant I loved dolls.
Well, you love dolls anyway.
Well, I do, but I've resisted purchasing any. Yeah. So yeah, Eurovision, and also, you know, it was kind of exotic because everything was said in English and then French.
Absolutely. And the scores were given in French, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose they still are. We don't watch it, so we don't know. But on Miss World, I always remember Carry On Girls, you know, such a great Carry On, because it is really the epitome. You know, you've got all these wonderful beauties on stage. You've got all these men sitting in Max watching it in the audience, you know. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I used to do. My sister had a Princess Leia doll, and she had this sort of magic hair, and she had a booklet with all her different hairdos. So what I used to do is sneak Princess Leia into my bedroom, give her a new do from the book, and put her back. And I can remember one of my sisters saying, Mum, I think the fairies have been and given Princess Leia a new hairdo. How right she was.
Absolutely, yes. Dear. Look, Stevie Weaver used to dress the Action Man up in drag.
Well, I had Action Man. I also had Steve Austin,
Bionic Man,
the $6 Million Man.
Yeah.
I was also very privileged to have Steve Austin's rocket ship as well.
Did Steve Austin have a big rocket?
He had this rocket ship that he sat in, and you plugged his bionics in to it. They had little sockets. He had a sort of bionic arm with a rubber sleeve that rolled up.
A rubber sleeve that rolled up.
To reveal the bionic modules in his arm.
Yeah, I met a few men like that in my time, yeah.
So, yeah, I loved all that. I was very fortunate to have that. Yeah.
I don't think I had any Action Men or anything like that.
Yeah, I loved my dolls.
I had cookery books. That was it. I had cookery books.
I don't think we would have been friends as children, Paul.
No, I don't think we would. You did lots of naughty things, and I was just angelic and wonderful.
Oh,
I was the perfect child. I was, yeah.
Shush now, Paul.
Yeah.
So what else did we watch? We watched our usuals, The Golden Girls. We continue with that. We watched Question Time as usual.
Skipper doll.
Skipper.
Skipper doll. What's a skipper doll?
Oh, I don't know.
Flat top haircut. Did the hair grow? How did the hair grow back? Was there just lots of hair stuffed in the body? And
there were some dolls that had growable hair, and they had like a little button that you pressed on their chest, and then you pulled the hair out. Yeah.
So it wasn't growable. It was just all stuffed in there, and it was a bit like a strimmer. Like a strimmer.
Like strimmer cord.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I gave one of my sister's dolls a haircut once and used the hair to make a collage.
Skippy was Barbie's little friend.
Skipper.
Oh, right.
Oh, I don't remember that.
One of our plot holders at the allotments, she does costumes and costume design and costumes for a lot of films, and she worked on Barbie the musical. Yeah, the film. Yeah, she worked on Barbie the film. I think it was last year it was filming, and she said I never want to work on anything pink again. Ever, because of course everything was pink. So yeah, she is lovely. She was working on something, I think Napoleon or something, but there were too many body parts for her, so she moved on to Barbie, which was quite a move. Yeah.
So if we were both Golden Girls, who would we be? That's a difficult one.
You'd be Blanche.
Paul, why do you automatically assume that I'd be the slutty one? I'm not slutty like Blanche. When have I ever had a different man every night? Never. I'd be more like Dorothy.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've got the height for Dorothy.
I've got the height.
You've got the wit.
Well, sometimes if I can be bothered.
Yeah.
Which is most of the time.
Who would I be then?
You'd be Sophia, Paul.
Yeah.
Old and wrinkly.
Yeah. Talking about Sicily all the time. Yeah. Or Guernsey in my case. Tiny Tears. I remember that. Tiny Tears.
I think Tiny Tears was the one that I cut its hair off and made a collage with it.
Right.
I was very proud of. I stuck the hair onto a piece of paper with glue.
Caroline says you would be Sophia. You'd be the old one.
I don't think I would, Caroline. I don't think I would.
Richard as Dorothy, Paul as Sophia. There we are.
There we are.
Yeah.
You see.
What was never mentioned? Stevie Wee during. Oh right. Okay.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, I love that Lady Garden. I think it's so funny.
Oh,
I
Lady
really
Garden.
do. Yeah.
Yes.
I've been tending my Lady Garden. Yeah. Oh dear.
Anywho, so we also started watching Citadel.
On Prime?
Is it Prime?
It's Prime, yeah. Rather enjoying it.
Yeah, it was quite good.
Yeah, you found some of the fight scenes a bit heavy.
Oh my God.
I tell you what, if you found that heavy, you should never ever watch John Wick movies because they are absolutely full-on fight scenes.
I mean, they really, really go over the top with these fight scenes now. I mean, look, I do admire the fact that the production,
the craft of it,
and the craft of putting together a fight scene, the multiple camera angles, the editing, the learning the fights, all of that stuff is tremendously challenging for a filmmaker to make, to put together. So, there is a great craft in that. But as a watcher, it's challenging for me because it's kind of, it leaves me in a complete whirl and it raises my blood pressure as well. So I don't think it's that healthy to watch.
Oh, I think it is because it's punctuated with so much humour. You know,
Really?
yes, it is. It's a bit like What We Do in the Shadows. When there's lots of blood in What We Do in the Shadows. There's always that humour that punctuates it.
I didn't find
Which
much humour in
Oh,
that.
I did. I did. I thought it was
You
very
like,
funny.
yeah, but you like action films,
I do
Paul.
like action films.
I like an action film as long as it's fairly gentle.
He likes a gentle action film.
Yeah, a gentle action film with some light murdering. No, I mean,
Oh,
I
dear.
like an action film that's sort of, I prefer the sort of spacey things,
Yeah, you do.
the
You do.
sci-fi
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
I like a good bit of action in space,
Yeah.
but not necessarily on a train
No.
in Italy,
I mean, it was.
where everybody gets killed.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was great. Stanley Tucci is. I mean, everything that he has done, I think we have enjoyed. He's just one of those actors that seems to pick exactly the right things.
Oh, he's clearly got a good agent.
A good agent. Yeah.
Yes, Paul might be Rose Heather.
Yeah,
actually.
Rose stroke Sophia, and you're Blanche stroke Dorothy.
Anyway, I think
Stanley Tucci was also, we haven't seen it, but he was a serial killer or something, a serial killer helping solve things. We haven't seen that, and that might be on my radar. What I have also watched, and it's been on Netflix, is Young Wallander, which I've really enjoyed.
What happened to old Wallander?
Well, it was a sort of reboot, basically, because Wallander was older, and they have rebooted and made Wallander a young person now, and I think it works well. I do think, I think sometimes you can refresh things and give them a different appeal, and I think they've done that with this. So yeah, that's on Netflix.
I think you could do with refreshing your hair and giving it a different appeal, Paul. Frankly.
Yeah, he is a cook also. Yeah, yeah. And he was in, was it Julie and Julia he was in?
Yes.
He played
He was the husband.
Julia Child's husband. Yeah, he was in that. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Nancy Drew. Loved that. That was, Nancy Drew was played by the actress who played Fallon in Dynasty, or Dynasty, as you say in the States. Yeah, I remember Nancy Drew. Loved it.
I remember Nancy Drew, but I never watched Hardy Boys or Nancy Drew on TV ever.
Well, it was on TV when we were kids.
Yeah, but I didn't watch it. It wasn't
Paul,
something I watched.
You missed out on that.
Yeah.
Pamela Sue Martin. Absolutely.
Hi, Izzy. Hi, both of you, in fact.
Hello.
Inside Man. What was that on, Sarah? Inside Man. What channel or streaming or whatever? Elementary.
Oh, we loved Elementary.
Oh, Elementary was just amazing. And of course, Elementary was one of those series that was cancelled. And there was such a sort of groundswell from the fans that they can't leave it like this, that they did a sort of short season, didn't they, as the final season. So it effectively got rebooted immediately after it got cancelled. So yeah, love Elementary. I think that's most probably something that, given time, we would watch again. And Susie Sue, Lucy Lou.
Susie Sue.
I was thinking of all leather and rock music then. Lucy Lou is just fantastic in it.
I think you need an assessment, Paul.
I might do.
Really? I mean, they can't be
more different.
More different, really.
Oh.
I don't know. So this is the part of the show where if you've got any questions, get them in now before we say goodbye.
Bye. We're going.
Because we've been going for 1 hour 19 now.
Glad you've caught a live, Wendy. That's great. Yeah. What was the Pre-Inspector Morse? Pre-Inspector Morse was Endeavour. And it was,
very
fantastic.
Good. I even enjoyed
fantastic.
That.
And Caroline O'Neill, who plays Mrs. Thursday, She works in For Her Sake. She's been a friend of Vanessa for very, very many years. I mean, for as long as I've known Vanessa and longer, I think. So yeah, we see Caroline quite a lot down there. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. The killer on death row who helps to solve cases. Yeah. Can't remember what it was though. I'll have to look it up. Yeah. Greta.
No, I haven't, Caroline. I've never seen him live.
Who is that? David Hoyle? No.
He's doing live shows at the moment in London, but I won't be going there.
Sorry, Lundy subs. Yeah.
Well,
What's Greta's joined from Newfoundland? Hi, Greta. Sorry, yeah.
Hi, Greta.
I was watching your walk the other day, which is just so lovely.
The Cure.
So,
Yeah,
The
love The
Cure.
Cure.
You know what I love? The clip of The Cure after they've been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or whatever it was. And there's a presenter and she's saying, you know, how excited are you about this? Blah, blah, blah. And he goes, doesn't sound as though I'm excited as you are. Something like that.
Robert Smith.
Robert Smith, yeah. Because she was so sort of, wow about it.
God, Anita, Sham 69.
Sham 69.
Wow.
Wow. Gosh. There are some bands that have, well, I mean, like Duran Duran, you know.
They're still going
like,
strong.
What, that must be like 40 years. And then, of course, there's that one, Rolling Stones. I suppose they're a band that have been around for so long. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've never seen the Rolling Stones and I never want to. I've
No.
never been into their music ever. It's never really appealed to me.
Which is the one with the two of them? They're brothers and they were around in the early 70s. And I said to you, that music sounds as though it's so much later.
I don't know.
And he had the
idea.
the moustache.
Oh, Sparks.
Sparks.
They're
Sparks.
still going strong. Yeah.
And touring. Yeah. I watch them occasionally on YouTube, their videos. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Robert Smith. I think he's great. Bee Gees. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, enjoy your Mother's Day lunch. Is it Mother's Day in America? Is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, the mamas and papas. I had on Tuesday when I was having my sort of anxiety breakdown. After the bees, I then sat down and Mama Cass came on YouTube because I sometimes have YouTube music playing in the background, and I went into a sort of, you know, a nice spiral with the mamas and papas. Yeah.
Good. So pleased for you. So thank you very much for, hold on.
Oh, Nick Kershaw.
Nick Kershaw, Craig, I was a big fan of his early stuff. Human Racing is a classic album. The Riddle is a classic album. I also quite liked Radio Musicola. I thought that was a good one. And there's a couple of other albums that I've heard which I enjoyed, but it's the early music that I really like of his. There's a bee.
There's a bee.
There's a bee. Is it in the window?
It can't be in the window because
Is it in the
may be
chimney?
in the chimney.
Oh, it'll be all right. It'll come out. It'll find its way. It will.
We were doing some painting. Well, I think we were doing this a couple of weeks ago, and we said there's a bee in the chimney. And several hours later, it was in the window, so we caught it and let it out. Yeah, it's in the chimney, definitely.
Invasion of the insects.
No. Hall and Oates.
Hall and Oates, yeah. I loved Hall and Oates.
I wasn't I liked them, but not, great fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kate Bush. She was, there was some merchandise that came up about her that she was signing a new Soundwave, wasn't it? Something.
Yeah, it was a Soundwave piece of art based on running up that hill.
Mm.
Anyway, we're going to go now.
Yep.
Thank you very much for tuning in this week and sharing this time with us. We appreciate it.
Sunday chat.
Oh, Paul.
I just thought I'd get that in there for people who join late. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, bloody thank you for tuning in. Ta-ta for now. We'll see you very soon. And hopefully I'll be able to do a little garden video for you so you can see how the garden's looking. And
I agree, Matthew. I think sparks are arguably more unique than anyone. Absolutely. Yeah.
Take care, everybody. Thank you for your continued support.
Mm-hmm.
We do appreciate it, because without you, there's no show. There's no channel. So we do appreciate it. Thank you. Bloody thank you. And we're going to have, I think, a nice cup of tea now.
Nice cup of tea.
Nice cup of tea and a bread roll with some honey.
Really?
I'm hungry today for some unknown reason. I don't know why.
I think a dry cracker with some honey would be better.
No. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.
You can have a roll if you want a roll.
I'm hungry. I feel hungry. It's because it's cold.
Yeah. Bananas. Absolutely.
Bananas. Yeah.
See you again soon.
Take care, everybody. I'm pressing the button now.
He's pressing the button.
I'm going to press the button. Take care.
Bye all.
Bye for now.
Feed that man.
Yeah, we're going.